Good evening. Thank you all for your participation in this evening's liturgy. It is my pleasure to welcome family, friends, staff, students, and guests. Thank you for coming together this evening to celebrate Will as he completes another year in his studies and faith formation. In the midst of closing out a school year and making plans for a new one, I invite all of us to join and celebrate the gift we have in our Catholic Montessori school. We are here to celebrate Will Magnus and his completion of time here at St. John the Baptist Catholic Montessori School. And that being said, I invite Angela Werbleski forward to speak more about Will's graduation.
Good evening. I am so grateful for Will tonight, for who he is, and where he is at in his development, maturity, character, and faith. To be a part of this team that has not only helped him learn academically, but also socially and emotionally, has truly been an amazing blessing. We know that it takes a village. I am honored to have been among your village, Will. I now would like to invite you up. Please come forward to share your reflections on your journey through your years here at St. John the Baptist Catholic Montessori School.
Thank you for coming to my graduation, and thank you, Miss W., for introducing me. I am Will Magnus, the valedictorian. For the last 4 years, I've been here at SJB, and I'd like to thank all my teachers here. It's been great. And I'd like to thank Miss W. for being the main teacher for the last 4 years and teaching me math. For the last 10 years of my life, I believed that I would want to do something with animals. Now the answer has changed over time from wanting to own 20 dogs to wanting to become a wildlife biologist. I have always loved animals. In the first grade, we had to write a quote, and I searched up nature quotes, and I found, "Study nature, love nature, stay close to nature, it will never fail you." Since finding that quote, I knew I had to do something with animals. I have also been challenged by doing stuff that I never thought I would do before 8th grade. I was confirmed, wrote a book, went to Washington, D.C., and I got to see a bison. I just feel like SJB would be the only place that could deliver that type of education over any other Catholic private school. As I journey towards high school, I'm excited to make new friends, and I'm looking forward to going to a bigger school. Eden Prairie High School, that's where I'm going next year. I would also like to quote one more person. You cannot get through a single day without having impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. Jane Goodall. I hope that I've made an impact on SJB and my classmates. I look forward to high school and taking all I've learned to impact the next world around me. Thank you, everyone who has taught me, and especially my parents. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. And as I was sharing with you earlier today, this is your night that we celebrate you and you get to receive. And so with that, your fellow students have a little surprise for you. So I'd like to invite the 7th graders up that were able to make it tonight.
Will, it has been an honor being your classmate, and I hope I can say friend. Will, I have had the honor of learning from you and getting to spend time with you. I know you are excited to leave and embark on a new chapter of your life. but I know deep down that you will always remember your time here at SJB. I know you have so many great ideas, so I leave you with this. Chase your dreams, and that the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Journey on, and may God bless you.
Will has been an awesome friend and classmate. I do not recall when I first met him, but I'm sure he was very kind to me. This year has been awesome getting to know him and become more of a friend to him. My favorite memory this year was when I first heard Will's laugh. It made me die laughing. The part I will miss the most about Will is his funny and kind personality. But I know that you'll bring that to your new friends in high school and make sure to have fun. And sadly, Robert was not able to make it, so I'm going to read his note. I have loved having Will in our class this year. It was really nice getting to know him. He always brought laughter and joy when he was around. I will miss having Will in our class next year, but Will, I hope you have an amazing time in high school, and thank you for all the memories.
Will, you are a great friend and you worked really hard and you are artistic. It makes me happy when I see your pictures. I missed you so much and I hope you have a good time in high school. And I hope you see you soon. May God bless you.
Will, thanks for being a good friend. One of my favorite works that we did together was the color cards. And in my opinion, I said we had the best one of all. Some of my favorite memories together are the great games that you, me, and Charlie have been playing since you got here. I'm going to miss you, your imagination, your creativity, our games, and your spirit. One of the great things that you brought to A1 was Happy Thursday, where everyone had to be positive or else. So I send you with good luck as you journey off to the wonderful world of high school. Thank you.
Over the past year, I've gotten to know Will better than the other 2 years we've been in the same classroom. However, as long as I've known him, he's always put God first. Not an easy task. I've enjoyed Will's sense of humor in the classroom, especially his infectious laughter and his passion on certain topics. Overall, I'll miss his spirited personality. I would like to wish Will all the best in his future endeavors. I would also like to share some words on behalf of Benjamin as he is not here this evening. Will is quite imaginative and not afraid to share his ideas, thoughts, and opinions on things that can be very fun to talk about. It is always really easy to get a smile on his face. He likes to play with kids of all ages. I see great potential in Will and would like to thank him for his leadership and say farewell until I see you again.
Will, thank you for keeping us all in check. Without you, we'd probably be bouncing off the walls. Sadly, you will not be here next year, but hopefully we'll be mature enough by then. I loved playing our games out at recess, and when you occasionally would play basketball, that was always a blast. I hope that in your future schools you will find great friends. Best wishes. And I will also share William's note to Will. I remember that on the first day of school when we departed for our fall odyssey, Will was sick with pink eye and couldn't come. But when I look back on the rest of the school year, I can't remember a time when he missed school for sickness. So great job being resilient, Will. I would like to thank you for being that seasoned veteran presence in the classroom, being the only 8th grader. I know that us 7th graders tried to step up and be great friends, so I hope we did a good job. Will also helped keep some of us in check because, believe it or not, some of us 13-year-old boys had a tough time with speaking out of turn, but Will helped right that ship a little bit. So once again, Will, I hope it has been an enjoyable year, and we hope you find great new friends as you move on to high school.
At this point, I would now invite Miss Callie to come up and share a few words. However, she is actually at the Children's Hospital with Maggie, and so I'm going to share the words for her, and I will do my best. So these are coming from Miss Callie. Good evening. My name is Callie, and I'm the adolescent assistant at St. John the Baptist. Tonight, I have the honor of speaking about our graduating 8th grader, Will. For those of you who may not know Will, I'd like to offer 3 qualities he possesses, each of which will aid him in excelling as he continues his education and growth next year at Eden Prairie High School. The first of Will's many character traits is his compassionate heart. I first met Will 3 years ago when I was in the lower elementary assistant. At that time, Will's sister Abby was in E1. At the beginning of the year, Abby had a few hard days, and I kept noticing that she would run to Will, seeking a familiar and friendly face. I remember seeing Will give her a hug, talk with her, and make sure that she was okay before going back to his friends. I recall being moved and thinking, wow, he deeply and lovingly cares for his sister. As a sister of 4 older brothers myself, I was touched by his willingness to take the time to console his sister. In addition to his compassion, Will has also committed to our church and reveals through his actions the importance of our shared Catholic faith. Will has given his time and his talents as an altar server, and through this, he has been an incredible witness to the beauty of consistent participation in the Holy Mass. This lead by example mentality has inspired me and others to find our own ways to serve as well, particularly as it relates to our Catholic faith. While I can continue to share on and on about his qualities, I'd like to share one final story that touches my heart in particular. The story exemplifies Will's willingness to step out of his comfort zone and to try new things. Now, as you know, in February, I gave birth to my second child, Magdalene Jane. For the past 2 months, I have been able to bring her into the classroom with me. Every morning, Will greets her with a, "Morning, Maggie." One day, his cheerful greeting developed into a particularly funny question. What do I need to do to hold Maggie? I simply said that he needed to put on some hand sanitizer and he could hold her. He was taking a little while longer than I expected, and I looked over and he was sanitizing not only his hands, but his arms as well. When asked what he was doing, he responded, "I don't just have germs on my hands, I also have them on my arms too. I need to kill all the germs so I don't give them to Maggie." Once he was done sanitizing, he came over to the chair, and before I handed Maggie over, he had a questioning look on his face, and he said, "So what do I do?" I asked if he had ever held a baby before, and he said no. So we talked through how to hold a baby and support her head and all that, and I handed her over. After a few seconds of holding her, he looks at me and says, "So now what do I do?" I explained that he can talk to her and just look at her. He seemed content, so he didn't have to do anything. He said, "Okay." Okay. Then about a minute later, she started to move a little, and he said, "Oh, well, what do I do now?" About 3 minutes into the whole thing, he turns to me and said, "Okay, you can take her back now." This story is a great example of the beauty of Montessori education that Will received at St. John's. Not only did he learn math, science, and English, but he also learned that our Catholic faith and other skills, life skills, that he will carry into with him in the days to come. Will, whether it feels like it or not, you have learned numerous amounts in the last few years and will continue to learn as you venture into high school. As you journey away from St. John's and become an Eden Prairie Eagle, I thought this verse from Isaiah 14 was fitting for you. "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. May you continue to step outside of your comfort zone, trust in the Lord, and be who God meant you to be. The Lord has great plans for you, Will, and I look forward to seeing all that you accomplish. God bless, Miss Kelly. Well, I get to stay up here, so now it's my turn, Will. So I have many thoughts, and I decided, Will, I'm going to keep it to under 10,000 words for you. Will, I always say that I have the best seat in the house, and this is still true. I have had the pleasure of seeing you under a few different lenses. I have seen you through the eyes of a parishioner, a catechist in the atrium, as a principal, and as a classroom guide or teacher. In thinking about what to say today on your 8th grade graduation day, I couldn't help but enjoy a little trip down memory lane from when I first met you. Believe it or not, I first met you, Will, in the Catechesis of the Good Shepherd Atrium Level 2 when you came as a first grader. And there is a picture. You had so many questions about the whys of our faith. You loved the creation story, especially learning about the 3 moments, creation, redemption, and parousia, but definitely settled on creation of animals being your most favorite. Anytime you drew a response to a presentation in the atrium, it incorporated God's creations. I can still see you drawing as many animals as you possibly could think of, and if I recall correctly, you had a special love for the sharks and the animals of the water, at least at that time. While we were in the atrium for a few years together, I then met you again as an SJB student when you came into the classroom and joined E2. This began your Montessori educational journey outside of the atrium. The idea of being able to have a say in your day, walk around the room, challenge yourself. Oh, these are mind-blowing. Dr. Montessori said, "The greatest gift we can give our children are the roots of responsibility and the wings of independence." I saw this gift come to life in you. I can still hear the words you would say time and time again as your eyes got really big. Wait, I can do that? Yes, I would say. If you would like to, it is your choice. Of course, there were moments you learned that there was the moment that you learned that you actually got to chew your food. I think is ingrained in my memory. I clearly remember you saying, well, usually lunch was shoving as much food in your mouth as you possibly could and then just swallowing it. Here we get to chew our food. I could get used to this. I really pray that you have gotten used to that, Will. And your Catholic Montessori adventures had just begun. Inside the walls of the school and out, the world became your classroom. You ventured into and out into the greater Minnesota areas and beyond. You have learned the importance and value of taking responsibility for your work and not just sticking it into that corner of your mind, especially when it's not the work you want to do. You were always willing to volunteer, even when you had no idea what I had planned. I can only laugh as I see a picture of you, the next picture on the slide, from Baker, when you were called to be a part of my Sugar Shack skit, and you milked the cow in order to get the dairy needed for the milkshakes that were on sale at the Sugar Shack. You put your whole heart and mind as you yelled with everything you have, "Give, Betsy, give! The baby's gotta live!" The last, sorry. That might be coming up in a slideshow later on, too. The last 4 years have given you many experiences and many firsts. I'm just going to mention a few, knowing that there are so many more, but some we will even see again in that slideshow coming up. So a few of your firsts that I remember: shooting a bow and arrow, making a fire with flint and a whole lot of our motion, making pizza over an open fire, creating a fresco, learning to sew and using those skills to make a pillow with the parts of a plant cell. Then, of course, there was tessellations, square root, and many, many animal models out of clay. Creating an imaginary island, the shape of a turtle, I believe. The times you worked at making meals for all of us on our fall or spring trips. We learned together that it's good to have a plan B, ready to implement when needed. We rounded the year off with an opportunity to hold a baby for the first time in your memory. Your passion for the Eucharist and for doing what is right are nothing but inspirational to all who have met you. You're a quiet observer with a compassionate heart. When you see someone who might be in need of help, you drop everything you are doing to help that person. I remember a time when you were on your way back from returning your lunch tray. You were in the upstairs hallway and noticed a whole lot of boxes that had been dropped off for Mr. Mike to put away. You stopped right there, right in the middle of the hallway on your way back from lunch, and asked Mr. Mike if you could help with all the boxes the delivery people had left in the hallway. This is just one example of your generosity, of your time and care, and putting others above yourself. You hold a strong moral compass, continually pointing you in the right direction to your true self. When I look at you, there are many words that come to mind as I describe you. Some of them include encourager, peacemaker, honest, compassionate, leader, perseverer, energizer, excellent, joyful, virtuous, full of reason. You have overcome challenges in the classroom and outside the classroom, as well as within yourself. It is truly with tears in my eyes that I reflect on the remarkable young man that you have grown into from those first days that I met you in the atrium. I marvel at you as the leader you are today, and I am privileged to say that I know you, and I believe I know your heart. I have seen you grow and develop and make decisions that have all come together to make you who you are right now. And I must say that my life has been changed by knowing you. So graduating from St. John's is different. It is not simply an indication of your age, but rather a benchmark of how far you have come within this community. You will go in the direction that you are called, but you are both armed with reassurance that you are prepared for what lies ahead. In many ways, saying goodbye to this place is harder of a transition than actually leaving high school or college, because regardless of where you go after St. John's, you will never find a place so close-knit. Together, we celebrate these relationships and show gratitude for what they have added to our lives. You have worked together with others in the environment. You have played together, struggled together, maybe even cried together. You have journeyed through some of the most challenging years of your growth, and you will have succeeded. You have met the challenge that nature has bestowed upon you, and you have risen to meet what comes your way. As we end our journey together, it seems most appropriate that I send one more challenge your way, especially since you always like a good challenge. As St. Francis of Assisi said, preach the gospel at all times. When necessary, use words. As a man of few words, or a young man of few words, as you leave St. John's, you will have the opportunity to make countless decisions. It is in every one of these decisions that you will need to make the choice to live out the gospel. You will have the opportunity to set an example for others, to live what is right and true. Never be swayed from preaching the gospel message with your actions, kindness towards others, and brotherly love. Be true to yourself, for it is only you that can become the man that you are meant to become. As you begin this next phase, this next journey, know of my prayers, encouragement, and support literally any time that you venture out into the world. As you discover your cosmic task, you bring Christ to all you meet, and live a full and beautiful life. God bless. They take such good care of me. So, once again, I would like to draw your attention to the screen behind me to view our graduates slideshow. I did enjoy putting that together. Now, at this time, I would like to invite Will to come up to receive his diploma, Christian prayer book, and Bible. So you actually have to come up, Will. Within the Christian prayer book are prayers each student learned and prayed daily in the adolescent community. They have also used scripture as they have grown and continue to grow closer to the Good Shepherd. You are challenged, Will, to continue to make these two books an integral part of your life as you move into high school and beyond. And Father has your diploma. Please join me in congratulating Will on his graduation. Now I'd like to ask the parents of Will to come to the front of the church and stand behind Will. And actually, Will, if you want to maybe just go to your right a little bit. There you go. Sure. Will, your family has been with you day in and day out on your educational journey. They were your first teacher and continue to support you and guide you. May you always know of their love and support. Father will now give a blessing.
Okay, can we give Will one more congratulations and round of applause? Will, we are so grateful for you and so excited as you move on to this next step of your life. And we want to thank everyone for coming tonight to celebrate Will. I think it's so beautiful, the community that St. John the Baptist has created, and I know that we've all come around Will tonight to celebrate him and to help him into high school. And so with that, thank you again for coming, and please know that we have a celebration and a reception in the gathering place afterwards. So we have some cake and a little bit of refreshments. So just to finish things off, let's give him one more round of applause and then head on out. Thank you again.